Thank you for tuning into the Miller Chiropractic Minute. Um, this is going to be an interesting talk. I feel very passionately about this, and we're going to talk about true health and what it takes to be truly healthy. So, let me talk about for a second fad diets, weight loss drugs, and things of that nature. When you talk about fad diets, they all work to a point. Everybody will lose a lot of weight, and then as soon as they go back to their old lifestyle, it all comes back plus some. Um, when we talk about weight loss meds basically have you starving yourself. Now, I know people who have taken weight loss meds that needed the energy, that got the energy to start to work out, and then after the weight loss meds were gone, they were able to maintain it. Um, my brother is an anesthesiologist. Phentermine and drugs of that nature, he says, cause heart hypertrophy. So it actually damages your heart over a long period of time. So I do not, I repeat, do not, um, with that knowledge, recommend that people take that away. Remember, if you're big, and I used to be 270 pounds, if you're big, you didn't get that way overnight. You're not going to lose it overnight. Another thing about fad diets like to replace good, wholesome food with fake food. And your body can't do anything with fake food. So if you look at these people on a test that's called a BIA, you will start to see that they digest their own protein, they retain water, they start to have liver problems long term, but they still affect the liver and they do not detoxify properly. And so you get an issue of they lose a lot of weight, um, they think it's great, but the problem is they've lost muscle mass. And that's the biggest thing with those things because when you step on a scale, it doesn't break down how much body fat you are, how much water you are, how much healthy muscle you are, how much fat free mass you are, how much tendon you are. So it's one of those things where stepping on the scale every day doesn't really matter. And people don't get that. People get into calorie counting really hot and heavy. It's not the calories, it's the type of calories that you're eating. Um, so so let's really get into the nitty gritty of this. So this may be a little lengthy. First book I'd like to introduce you to is a book called The Blue Zones. This is a research book that was done on people who live the longest. And they call those areas blue zones because they found that they all live in groups and they're like minded people. The only blue zone we have in the United States is in Loma Linda, California. I would highly recommend that you get that book, read it. It is a snoozer, not real entertaining, other than the anecdotes and the stories when you interview the people. But otherwise, it is research. But it's very entertaining in that they give you a lot of information on what these people are actually eating, how they actually live, their purpose. Big things for living healthy are purpose, a sense of want and need. The other thing is being with like-minded people, having close friends. It's not only what you feel like, what you like, but what you think. Your mental attitude makes a difference. Um, there was no fountain of youth. They didn't discover the fountain of youth in one single form. The next book I'd like to introduce you to is a lifesaver for me, Tosca Reno. If you don't know her, I would highly recommend looking her up on the internet. That is the lifestyle that I follow. When I say the lifestyle that I follow the clean eating lifestyle mostly. I am still human, I still like chocolate. I still like going to concerts and I'll have a couple of drinks. Those types of things still happen, but they don't affect me the way they used to. I don't get hangovers. I don't have the blahs. And because I like myself and I like how I look and how I feel, I don't overindulge. Let's put it that way. Um, my hat, I have to give a tip of the hat for the Toscarino find actually to my wife, because she is the one that has implemented that lifestyle into our home, not for just me and her, but also for our family. It is a huge, huge difference. So let's talk about what it takes to be healthy. It takes exercise, it takes nutrition. I'm not going to say diet. It's not diet. Don't think of it that way. It's nutrition. And it takes, for me, drive. I started to do triathlons. I'm training with a coach by the name of Jeff Klein. He gives me my workouts. I do them. And so I train for triathlons. That might not be your cup of tea. You might want something else, but it's not just weights. It's not just cardio. It's not just nutrition. It's all three. A little short story. When I was at my heaviest in 2000, well, late last year, I was up to 270 pounds. I'm now down to 231. In 2005, I was floating around the 250, 260 mark, and I was a competitive mountain biker in the Clydesdale division. Yeah, I wasn't running beginner or anything like that. But in the Clydesdale division, I did win the division in the state of Indiana for the Dino Series. I still wasn't healthy. I thought I was, because I was like, look at how I can compete, but I still was huge. I was wearing a size 46 pants, I believe. Um, I'm now down to 34s. So I had to go through this process of finding myself and started doing weights. Weights actually made me gain weight because I was building muscle mass. And so I was just like, what do I need to do? And then that's when Christine started to bring in the Eat Clean diet. And that has really just shed the weight off of me. Shed the fat. And let's not say weight, let's say fat. That shed the fat off of my body. I was hypertensive. I had a heart rate that was just resting heart rate that was twice what my normal in college was. My blood pressure would run about 140 over 80 or 90. Now it runs habitually 126 over 60. My resting heart rate used to be at about 80, and now it's back down to 43. So it takes everything, and I can't impress upon you people that are listening to this how important this is to you and to your kids. Our children, I'm 40 years old, our children is they are the first generation that has a shorter life expectancy than we do. My kids don't, and I've made sure my kids don't because I don't let them eat McDonald's. I don't give them fast food. I don't give them fake food. They have real food. Checklist, because boy, could I go off on tangents. um, so let's talk about the lifestyle that you have to get into. The the lifestyle that you need to get into is one of whole foods, one of eating 6 times a day, one of eating in the proper order, and then implementing exercise and cardio. So when we're talking about this, let's look at this. 6 times a day, what does that take? I usually actually only get about 5 times. Breakfast, largest meal of the day. You have the most from beginning of the day to the end of the day. That's when you need the highest calories. You got to get going with good food then. Then you take a mid-morning snack of a couple hundred calories. So I eat at 7, snack at 9, and then I have my lunch actually at 11 or 12, right around there. My lunch is generally, 400 or 500 calories. Consists of salads with protein. We have an Oriental restaurant, and I'll get the steamed broccoli and chicken, those types of things. Rice noodles. I've tried to eliminate gluten or watch the amount of gluten that I get.